How would you like to hear how Andrew, in my collective coaching program, started working with a developer and is into $100 million deals? Yes, $100 million deals using this one simple strategy, taking small, consistent steps every single day. You know, the problem with most real estate agents is they're always putting off doing the grand marketing. They're putting off marketing because they are fantasizing about putting on these huge social media displays, or doing these huge webinars, or these huge marketing strategies that are going to be just overwhelming to them, and so they don't really get started with nothing, quite honestly. I love to say it's basically procrastination dressed up in a nice outfit, because you procrastinate. When the flip side of this is that you can start taking small, consistent steps every single day to fill up your listing pipeline and bring more listings on the market consistently every single month. It's called the micro momentum marketing strategy. And essentially what the Triple M approach, or the micro momentum marketing strategy, is, it's just taking small steps every single day so that you can build your confidence, that you can become better at what you're doing. See, the problem is that most luxury agents, they're not doing these really grandiose, lavish marketing strategies. They're just taking small steps consistently every single day. What does this look like? So essentially, you could be scheduling yourself to take maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 things that you're going to do every single day, no matter what. All right? And that could be as simple as calling 2 past clients per day. It could be sending out 1 hand note per day. It could be calling 1 probate attorney a day. And this is what we specialize and work on in the collective from an accountability standpoint, but also to get people in motion. The problem is that most real estate agents are waking up every single morning and they don't know what to do. That's really the big problem. So they're agonizing, okay, should I call 100 people? Should I put out 4 Facebook ads? So they think that they got to do these big grand things. But no, the smart agents, the top agents, are doing the same thing every single day, doing the boring, repetitive stuff, like just having real minimum standards that you're going to do these things every single day. This is exactly, using the micro momentum strategy, how Taylor in Santa Barbara got a $10 million listing after working with me for only 3 weeks. This is how Cynthia did a $14 million deal in Northern California after working with me for 6 weeks, because she established these micro steps that she was going to do every single day. She recorded it. She sent it to me every single day. So I was holding her accountable, and bam. This is what happens when you take these small steps every day. You're building up a bank in the universe, if you will, of, you reap what you sow, like the Bible says. And this is, you are sowing and sowing and sowing. And guess what? It's almost a proven fact that that's going to come back to you in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And frequently, if you do it right, with the right guidance from moi, it's going to come back to you in a really big way. This is how Morshad was spending $5,000, believe it or not, $5,000 on Zillow leads. I asked Morshad, I said to him, I says, were you getting any great leads, from sellers? And he said, no, I'm getting a lot of unqualified buyer leads. And he was spending $5,000 a month. We weaned him off that. So now his spend with Zillow is 0, and He is using the micro momentum marketing strategy, started his own company, and is loving it. The best part about this too is that with the Triple M approach, you can develop marketing strategies that don't cost any money. That's what the collective is all about. The collective is all about finding listings, filling up your listing pipeline with listings that don't cost any money. All right? I don't want you spending any money on stupid leads that aren't qualified, Facebook ads, SEO marketing. If you really knew what you're doing, maybe this would work, but usually not. There are so many ways that you can find listings, but without spending money. But the key is that you have to do the small, boring, repetitive steps every single morning. This is what I help my clients do in developing their micro steps that they're going to do every morning. They're going to have the most immediate impact, because not only are these micro steps, but as I mentioned earlier, I also consider these to be minimum standards. So you want your micro steps to be small because you want to be able to do them every single day, no matter what happens. I don't care if the world blows up or your life blows up, that you're going to do these things every day. And what's the net result of this? As I mentioned earlier, you start doing these things like calling probates or calling your past clients or calling out of area owners, calling professionals to build your SOI. Call one a day and put them in your SOI, people especially that are working with high net worth individuals. What happens is you build up confidence, you build up consistency, that makes you feel better, and that makes you act better, and you get really good at it. You start mastering that strategy. And lo and behold, what happens then is you want to do more of it. Yes, that always happens. You know, they say it takes 3 weeks to make a habit. So that is the deal. Once you start doing this consistently, you're, instead of calling 2 past clients a day, you know, maybe you move it up to 3 or 4 past clients a day. And it sort of snowballs, it compounds. And can you see how this could really compound into some serious, amazing stuff that could be happening to you? It could be really, you'd be reaping some huge benefits if you keep increasing it as the time goes on. So again, luxury agents, they're not doing these grandiose kinds of crazy marketing strategies necessarily. I remember interviewing Gary Gold in Beverly Hills, and he basically was using my strategy, even though he wasn't one of my clients. He's a great friend, and one of the things he told me when I interviewed him, I asked him, I says, what is it that you attribute your success to? And he says that I go out and I have a minimum standard of actually talking to, and I can't remember talking to 5 people a day or something like that. It wasn't a huge number. It wasn't like 50 people a day, but just talking to 5 people a day, that was his micro step. That was his minimum standard by which he did not go below. And this is how Gary Gold in Beverly Hills became one of the top listing agents in Beverly Hills, California, listing properties over $100 million. So again, if you want to know how Andrew started working with a developer and started doing $100 million deals, which by the way, wasn't one property. The developer was building a subdivision. And so, but the bottom line is, that's how he did it, using the micro momentum strategy. If you want to know how to put this into place in your business, what to say, how to do it, how to construct it, how to make it work most efficiently, definitely book a call with me at the link down below. Let's jump on a free call, no pressure at all. I want to help you succeed and be the best listing agent using the micro momentum marketing strategy in your marketplace.